And welcome back to Not Actually Heroes Cataclysm. Nothing was happening before we went live there. Totally nothing.
If you want to see it, subscribe to Patreon. Oh wait, Clan ain't set that up yet.
Here's a hint for you. She got a Baldur's Gate face and an El Toril booty.
Could you show me what that is exactly so that I have a visual reference?
I can't. I'm like a piece of plywood in the back.
So, last time you guys met Matthias and Gibbers at the I guess we'll call it at his trash
junkyard.
Junkyard.
You called it junkyard.
Yeah. So you followed Huck there and found that Huck was located inside and strapped down, but it didn't seem to matter because Huck just kind of broke the straps by himself. So, and then I think we ended with Adara showing Huck a vision, or at least part of a vision that she had had. So,
while Huck tried to break my hand.
Yes, and Huck has a hold of JD. So that's where we're gonna pick up. So I think since we don't have a Huck, we don't have a Russ playing Huck, we've got Clan Diesel, co-DM, understudy for Huck.
All right.
All right. So I guess I'll just re-describe kind of the vision that we left off on. As Adara was reaching out to Huck, she was using her phantasmal force to try and recreate an image of a vision that she saw, and the only thing that she could think to really get him to try and remember things was that she pushed the vision into his mind of these hands. So he was slowly seeing a vision of these arms reaching out, and at the end of his hands, tightly grasped, he was choking a person. And that person happened to be an old man who is very familiar to Huck. I don't remember if you gave me his name or not. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
We didn't.
I didn't.
I don't know that
name given.
Yeah, I didn't think it came out in the vision. Yep.
Okay. So, it was an old man that was very close to Huck and was what Huck would call, or what Adara believed was his master based off of the rest of the vision that she saw. So this is the image that she was putting into Huck's brain as she was casting her spell. So he is currently choking the life out of his master.
Yep. So JD, where he's kind of touching Huck, is kind of, it's almost like there's a bleed over of the magic essence, and he's kind of seeing something, but it's really blurry and he can't make out exactly what it is. He just sees like almost like magic kind of almost floating in front of Huck.
I feel like Huck's trying to break JD's hand, because if he's physically trying to recreate what he sees in his mind, JD's holding one of his hands.
Okay.
So he's
Are
probably
you resisting?
Pretty tight. I mean, I'm there to support him, so whatever happens.
All right. So Huck at first seems to be just accepting what's happening, and then as you feel the magic really takes hold, Adara, and he sees this, he starts like struggling a bit, and you can feel like him starting to resist it. So Huck, or Clan, you want to roll for Huck as I think it's a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. Give me just one quick second.
An intelligence saving throw.
It's intelligence to decipher. Yeah, it is. It's the whole thing's intelligence. So you can do an intelligence as a save, and then you can do an intelligence as an investigation to see if. No, I think that's the whole thing. Yeah.
So just intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence to see if you can basically
Resist.
tell that it is an illusion.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right. And then an investigation.
no, that
Oh.
that is the roll.
No, so
okay.
essentially he
Right.
resists it. He shuts me out.
Yeah. So it just kind of fades away. You feel his hand kind of loosen on yours, JD, as that happens. As he kind of lays back a little more still.
What was that? James David, what's going on? Amy, what did you do to my head?
Apparently, she's trying to show you your past, Hook.
I don't remember that. It's not me.
At which point, JD kind of looks over the table because I figure the table's high enough that JD can't fully, be like this. He kind of looks over the table at Adara and says, "Are you able to tell how far back that was?"
She just kind of looks at him and drops her hand. I mean, from what I know and from what I saw, who knows when it could have been. But some of the visions I saw were from over 500 years ago. I mean, Huck is a warforged. He's extremely old.
No.
At which point,
Amy, I am a man.
He looks at her and goes, he still thinks he's a man. We've got to get that figured out.
Well, I've done what I can for now, but he has shut me out. Hence why we can't proceed further.
And with that, JD kind of lets go of his hand and kind of smacks him on the shoulder and goes, "Hey, Huck, let's go to the tavern and get a drink."
No.
We need to regroup. We have some stuff we need to discuss about why we're here.
Go anywhere right now.
I can put you on the carpet.
I don't feel me.
Oh, you're definitely not you.
Tinker Man. What? Can I stay here for a little bit and get my bearings? I mean, your buddies seem to want to go to the inn. I don't think I can do that right now. I mean, he can stay with me if you all are okay with it. It's up to you. You guys are welcome to stay if you want to as well. I can make room.
If he stays, you'll treat him with respect.
Well, duh.
And you won't sell him?
Why would I sell him? He's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And he'll maintain his dignity.
Listen, I won't do anything without his permission. Okay, I would have asked his permission last time, but he literally tried to kill me. And gibbers and everything else he saw. So I kind of had to take, things into my own hands, as it were. Like I said, you're more than welcome to stay here and regroup if you want to, or if you want to go back to your inn, that's fine. He will be here. And I'll make sure nobody hurts him. Got a few secrets around here to help protect him if need be.
We have others we should.
And say Dara's just gonna look at JD.
At that point, JD's kind of got his head down with his arms crossed, weighing all the options. And then he walks up to Matthias and says, "Can I talk to you outside?"
Of course. Everyone, you're welcome to stay here or go upstairs, whatever you want to do. Just don't press anything that looks like it could be pressed. After you.
Oh, JD's done walked out. After you said okay. He walked out to your main room.
What do you need to speak about?
I've known him probably as long as I've known the furbog in the room. He's the closest thing I have to family right now. I feel responsible for him. He thinks he's human. We both know he's not. If he gets out of line, can you reach me?
I have ways of getting the messages, yeah.
If something changes, he tries to leave, he gets out of hand. Will you contact me so I can come back to try to put a better stop to it? Not to kill him. I just want him better.
Sure. Hold on a minute. I think I got something over here. That where's it at? No, that's not it. No, that's shit. I've been looking for that wrench for a year.
When he says that, JD kind of chuckles. He's like, no.
Here it is. Here it is. I haven't used it in a while, but power's still good. I've been working on it. It's kind of like 95% working. It's basically you know the spell message?
Yeah.
It's like that, right? Except it comes across in text.
Hmm.
So when you feel it vibrate, that means I've sent you a message and you can read it.
Okay.
All right.
That'll work.
So here you go.
And so JD takes it and puts it in a pouch on the front. It's on the right side, close to where his money is.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on a box that'll do kind of the same thing, but with sending. But it blew up on my test subject, and now they can't hear anymore. So we're still in beta tests. So, but that one worked without exploding.
Maybe you need to get with the enchanter that's making the planar messaging system. They may be able to help you fine tune that.
Maybe. I don't know. Working with people's weird. But there you go. That if anything happens, I will send you a message.
So, what'd you do to fix him? From the red eyes, all I've found is healing him works.
Kind of the same thing. I just got him down and used mending. It's definitely a mechanical problem. I just don't know what it is without him letting me, under the hood. And I don't think some of your people take too kindly to me doing that.
Well, to be honest, most of the people here, except for the Furbog, don't know him as well either. Like I said, me, the Furbog, and him, we've been together for a little over a year now. We didn't pick some of these others up until a few weeks back.
But I can talk to him, see if I can figure out maybe what's going on, just by, getting him to answer a few questions. And I'll look through some books. I've got some books somewhere about automatons and Warforged and things like that.
You don't have any other Warforged here, do you? Like
No.
out in the yard?
No. Like I said, truthfully, he's the first Warforged I've ever seen with my eyes.
Last
I've heard
time
of
he
people keeping parts, but I don't know any of them personally.
when we were in Foxhold, the ruins of Waterdeep, I brought him into contact with a Warforged chassis, and it came alive. He went red-eyed, and both of them tried to beat the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I hate that you got.
I mean,
almost
it's
had your ass
fine.
kicked, but that makes sense. From what I know of the history of Warforges and what they were used for, he should want to attack. He is a soldier. He should be looking for input, what to attack, when to attack it, and then he would take it upon himself to do that. Him going around saying that he's an old man and casting spells and stuff should not happen.
I don't know what happened in his past. He won't talk about it. But he definitely thinks he's an old man. He portrays himself as an old man. And most of the time, his magic has to do with gravity-based magic, from what he's told me. I don't know how all that shit works. And JD slaps his holster. He goes, I rely on this.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Maybe that was the last magic that was cast on him in a battle or something, and he just absorbed it somehow. I don't know. It's very weird.
Well, we have
really
other
know.
things definitely to attend to, but like I said, if anything changes or he tries to leave, please let me know.
I'll do it, and if he asks me to, I will look at him, but I will let you know before I do, so that you're aware that he has asked me to do that.
Very well. And then JD will walk back into the room with everybody and go, looks like Huck's staying.
Oh, goody, a sleepover.
Huck will be back to get you when the time comes that we need your assistance for what we're here for.
Okay, James David, you and everybody else be careful. You and Amy and Kelly.
This
When he
motherfucker
says-
just call me Kelly. God damn it.
So when he says that, JD's just shaking his head. It looks at Matthias and goes, see what I mean? Can't even get the names right.
Harry's gonna look at Kaylin. Do I look like a Kelly?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's kind of cute.
I don't think I've been called cute in a long time. Okay. We should. Yeah.
Well, more people should call you cute, Kelly. You tell them that I said it.
Thank you, Huck. Be safe.
No
And
problem.
Dara's just gonna back away. She's gonna kind of nod to Huck, and she's gonna back away and walk out the door.
Goodbye, metal friend. Be safe.
Bye, Kaylin.
What did?
Oh, he remembered my name.
As they leave, JD looks at Huck and goes, hey,
Yeah.
you know that I'm always here for you.
Yeah, I've just got to figure things out on my own right now. Amy's vision was very scary.
It seemed painful, and JD kind of clutches his hand a little bit from where he was grabbing him. And he turns and looks at Matthias and goes, please don't fuck with the harness on his back. I put a lot of work into that.
With it, may upgrade it or something, but I won't take it off.
Okay.
Maybe
And
a
then-
mounted gun or something. That would be.
I mean, I'm not opposed to more armory.
Huck ends up with 2 machine guns on his shoulders that are only
I was-
operable by JD.
I was thinking more of a laser like Predator. That when JD hooks in, he just hooks it to his head, and then he can shoot it.
See, Matthias is thinking like one of his crystals on his wrist there, except it just is shoulder mounted and shoots firebolts.
I don't know.
I
I was
mean-
thinking about those those weapon mounted turrets from Gears of War, man.
I mean, I'm down with any of that.
All right, so JD leaves it at that and walks out of the room, and
Right.
Progwin comes out behind and says, "We'll see you later, Huck. Okay? That was a pretty good sermon until it got scary."
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Petey.
I thought it was fun. And he walks out the door. All right, so you guys exit the building. Where are you guys heading to?
What time of day is it?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's see. It's probably sometime around 1, 2 in the afternoon, I think.
What's the time frame between now and when Nathaniel's supposed to show up at the temple?
Nathaniel was supposed to show up sometime in the evening, so
Okay.
it'll be hours from now. Probably.
Can Matthias make each one of them a communication device that is also a watch that goes on the wrist? That way they know what time it is and can communicate with each other.
I think it's more my job to keep up with the time. that's
I was gonna
It's,
say-
it's
failing here.
Eldritch Watch.
I was gonna say, if
Eldritch
that's the
Watch.
case, Diz, I would like my money back for the thing I
No
put in
refunds.
for.
You got
No
it.
refunds.
No
Just
refunds. No
say-
refunds.
You just say, "Hey,
No refunds,
Matthias,
no
what
exchanges."
time is it?" And then it tells you in Matthias's voice what time it is.
Oh,
since
so
you
so
have to tell me
Matthias
what
is the
time
new
it is,
Siri.
and then I have to tell them
Siri or
my
Alexa.
God.
Yeah.
it's noon, dumbass.
The first time it ever said dumbass, JD would never use it again to know what time it is.
All right, so where are you guys heading to? You're in the junkyard, probably walking out to the front gate.
Yup.
JD turns and looks at Progwin. Are you all right with this? And he kind of
Leaving him
motions
here?
back towards the building. Yeah.
I don't like it, but Huck is a grown robot man. At least he's older than us. He can make his own decisions.
I mean, every time we leave him alone, something bad happens.
Think I should stay with him?
No, I've got a device, and he kind of pulls it out. Matthias says that if something happens, he'll message me, but
Okay.
Something's up with Huck. We need to get it fixed.
Yeah, he can't even remember the made up names that he gives us, I think. So
I've never told him what my initials stand for.
I don't think you've told anybody.
Nobody's ever asked. And then he kind of looks at the others in the group and he goes, hell, the group we started with ain't even here anymore. It's just you, me, and Huck.
When you look, Adara is kind of staring back at the house a little bit, just kind of looking at the door.
JD kind of looks up in the sky for a minute and goes, I feel like we need to go to the temple to prep for this meeting, but we don't know what time he's going to show up.
Oh, have you caught up with the group that we all can hear you, or are you still just
Oh,
talking to Prugwin?
We were all right outside. I was
Okay.
just talking to Prugwin to start with. That
Okay.
comment was to everybody. Y'all all heard JD say it to Prugwin about everything too. I wasn't whispering.
I mean, I know at least you and I were going to be there. We should definitely be in place before Nathaniel's set to show up, just for security's sake. Sooner the better.
He kind of laughs. He goes, I don't really need to go to the inn for a drink anyways. And he pulls out his flask and takes a swig.
Was Mormon still sleeping, by the way? I know he wasn't feeling the greatest.
When we left him a day ago, he was still at the inn, but nobody's checked on him. I don't know if he's still there or not.
I could run over and check on him if you want. Could fly back quick and see if he's still doing all right. I mean, if he had what I had, which pretty sure he did, wasn't exactly the most pleasant of things. I wouldn't mind checking in on him.
When she says that, JD looks at her and says, you still aren't fully back to normal from what you dealt with either, are you?
Still got a cough here or there. It's, maybe the equivalent of a hairball, but I definitely could still use rest.
So you go to the inn and check on Morwen while the rest of us head to the temple?
Yeah, I can do that. If anybody needs anything, I'll be there. I'll try not to deviate in case something happens.
I'd say take him with you and kind of nod at Prugwin, but I don't think your broom's going to hold him.
Well, how heavy is Prugwin?
Funny story. I was just looking that up the other day, and he is listed at 7'2", 210 pounds.
He's a skinny boy.
He's
Slender
super
Man.
skinny.
But
Twig boy.
does that count all of his armor too, or just his physical form?
So
Assuming
in his
it's
inventory, he has
fine.
123 pounds. So that'd be 300 and something pounds.
Jesus, he's carrying
Usually-
a hell of a lot of.
Well, I mean, he's a cleric. He's got plate
That's
armor
true.
or chainmail on, or scale mail, I guess, for him. Scale mail plus all of his inventory.
Yeah, well, fuck that.
That's
A
why-
lot of times I don't include that in calculating, like, the weight of something, but
Except for when it's on the carpet.
Well, the broom holds
mean-
up to 400 pounds. It'll just be encumbered and be slower.
Yeah, that's why I
I
said
mean,
probably wouldn't
that's-
be able to take him.
That's the only caveat there.
so it would be
I mean,
half
do you
speed.
guys walk by the bar, by the tavern as you're going to the temple?
They would be in the same area. I don't know if they would walk directly past it, but it wouldn't be too far out of the way. You're on the left side of town. Everything, the tavern and the temple are on the right
It's
side.
on the right side. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. Well, you can decide. I mean, it might not be a bad idea to have Pregwin around in case things go south.
He does have Zone of Truth, or whatever the hell that spell is that he used on Raz. Might be able to use it on Nathaniel if we need to.
I'll fly black. If you don't think that, if Pregwin wants to come over to the inn, I'll be there. You guys can make the decision if you think it's needed. You got plenty of time.
Okay. So you're taking off on the broom then?
Yeah. I'll rush back to check
Okay.
on Morwen since we haven't checked on him in a while.
Okay. She's doing that. Everybody else, I guess, is just walking back in the direction of the inn. Okay.
Yeah, there's no
So-
reason to pull out the carpet for that.
How fast is the broom?
That's a great question.
I think it's 40, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I just had it pulled up too and I closed out of it. Let's see. It has a flying speed of 50 feet.
Oh, 50.
Yeah, 50 feet. And if you dashed on that, it would be 100. So you could probably get there in just a couple minutes. So you're just flying across
Sweet.
town.
Friggin' speed of. All right, so she'll land down in front of the tavern there, and she'll head inside. Stop by the bar
Mhm.
to see the bartender there and grab see if she can get like a thing of water, like a mug of water to take up to Morwen.
All right. And as he's getting the water, he's like, yeah, why were you needing the water?
Oh, I was gonna take it up to my friend, see if he's all right. He wasn't feeling too well.
Oh, the guy that came with you. I haven't seen him much. He actually came down here earlier, and that one girl. I'm sorry, I don't know all their names. She appeared
Oh
and
boy.
ran into him, and they both disappeared. I don't know if that's normal.
Yeah, I don't. Did she look kind of like tallish, dark hair? The one you've seen here before?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. Well, guess I won't be needing that water.
Well, these were sent over here. Do you want these now? And he sets 3 boxes up on the counter. Looks like one is for Adara. And, one's for Kalen, and one's for Stanasi. Like
Yeah.
these nice,
Oh.
like pretty good sized boxes, kind of wrapped in nice paper with a bow on them.
Yes. Yeah, I will take these. Excellent. If you see our friends, the tall female or Morwen is the other guy that you saw, just have them let us know that he come back.
I will. Yeah, I will let you know. And if I see Huck at one of the sermons at one of the meetings, then I'll tell him if I don't see you.
Excellent. Awesome. And she'll kind of grab the boxes and she'll start to walk up the stairs to take them to the individual rooms. And you'll just hear her, she's like muttering, but she's like, are you freaking kidding me?
I mean, these are rather large boxes.
Yeah, she's
so
just like,
you're like,
yeah, she's just like, this is ridiculous. And she'll place each one on the bed of each individual room. And she'll take Stanasi's and put it in Kyrie's room at this point.
yeah. No. All right.
I'm not going as Stanasi.
And then Adara's probably gonna lay down to rest unless she hears from anybody or needs anything.
All right. So, what's the rest of the group doing? Just making your way over to the inn, or were you going somewhere else?
To the temple.
You're going to the temple.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
heading to the temple on standby for Nathaniel.
Okay.
Focus here.
Making our way
Yep.
downtown.
Prugwin is here.
Yay!
Hello, sorry I'm late.
All right.
Welcome
Just
to
got
the
home.
party, pal.
You guys are walking across El Turo on your way to the Temple of Anwir. So it takes you a bit longer. I'd say a good 45 minutes probably to walk across town and get to the temple. So when you get there, the doors are open. You can go right in. To my notes. You find Kyra is just in the library, kind of tidying things up. You don't see him, but you hear kind of Leonard humming a little bit of a song somewhere, and it's echoing off the walls. What you guys want to do? You're just in the hallway there of the temple.
JD starts shaking his head as soon as he hears Leonard's voice. He's still pissed off about Leonard. You said we see the Kyra?
Well, as you're in the hallway, if you walk down the hallway a little bit, you can see into the library where she's just in there cleaning, straightening things up in there.
That's where JD will be heading to go talk to her.
Pushing her conspiracy board kind of back out of the way so people don't just see it. Making sure her yarn that she uses on it is nice and tucked away.
JD
Oh,
walks
JD.
and goes to get her attention because she's cleaning.
Sorry, I was just straightening it up. Just keeping myself busy.
So, what time are you expecting him?
It should be later this evening. I don't have an exact time. Maybe around 8. Be after dark.
The room that you mentioned that we could make Leonard disappear into.
Mhm.
Where is it exactly?
There are some rooms downstairs. The floors are pretty thick, and once you close the big door there, you can't hear anything from the basement.
JD turns and looks at Kaylin and goes, "You're still willing to hold him in there?"
I suppose so. Do we have any choice?
I mean, pretty sure Nathaniel will freak the hell out if he sees 2 Leonards.
Have we thought about just asking Leonard? He's always been helpful.
I mean, we can ask, but after what happened with me and him in the shady part of town, I don't know how much I can trust him.
Would Nathaniel speak in front of someone that's not you or Leonard?
Maybe if he believes that I trust the person. I mean, him associating with us and everything puts everything that he's worked for and his family at risk. So I can see where he would be apprehensive maybe about talking to someone, but I think he might.
But he would speak freely in front of just you and Leonard.
Yes.
As that said, JD yells out Leonard's name.
You hear his footsteps coming down the hall. Someone rang for me.
I didn't ring a damn thing. I hollered your name.
And you notice Leonard seems to be a little more chippier than usual, just in better spirits. Oh, I do apologize, JD. Didn't mean to take light of the situation.
There's a meeting happening tonight. Here.
Okay.
This one, and he points at Kyrie and says, needs to be there. I need you to not be there.
Okay. Why is that?
Because there's information we need, and she is going to look like you.
Kyrie's gonna shift so she looks like Leonard. Still in her normal apparel, but Leonard's face.
To my knowledge, Leonard has not seen this or has no knowledge that you can do that. This, he's like, oh,
Makes it
my.
even more fun.
As he kind of rubs his eyes a little bit. Sometimes this happens. Nope, it's still there. Yeah, you seeing that too?
Who's that?
As he kind of walks right over to you, Kyrie, and it's just like almost nose to nose, like just looking.
I'd take a step back. And if you touch me, I break what you touch me with.
Okay, so that's not a hallucination. That's real. That happened. Okay.
As he says that, Leonard goes, or JD looks at Leonard and goes, "You on the drugs again?"
Well, I mean, as he kind of just looks around at everybody, he says, I mean, it's just some medication to help me be able to operate.
That's not very
Medication. Go ahead, Kaylin.
That's not very befitting of a holy man now, is it?
We all have our vices, and we're a little gray in those areas.
After what happened with us in that part of town, you really decided to do that again?
Like I said, it just puts me back to normal. So
The man threatened your life.
he is a little dramatic, I think.
But as you can see, she is going to be you. You need to not be seen or heard.
Yeah, I got that part, but why is that?
We need his information. Not secondhand. We need it in conversation.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check. Just a straight one.
That is a 16.
16.
Have a -1, so it was really a 17.
Oh, God. Ow. Something JD isn't good at.
Oh, charisma's a rough thing except for intimidation.
Leonard says, to be honest, no one plays me more better than me, I think. And is it really secondhand information? I mean, I thought we were all on the same team.
You are, what's the word you use? Medicated?
Yeah. Medicated would be the proper term, I think.
How can I trust you to recall what you heard being medicated?
Well, I mean, like I said, this is the norm for me, so this isn't anything indulging. And he looks around to everybody else. Harry's like, Leonard, they just want someone, one of their people in the room to ask the proper questions that only they know about. And Leonard's like, I can be taught these same questions. As he kind of crosses his arms and kind of just looks around at everybody, kind of just seeing what everybody else is thinking, trying to get a read on their faces.
Leonard, this is JD being polite and asking. There are other options.
And I don't think you would like those other options.
He keeps his eyes on himself for a moment and then kind of looks over at Kaylin, then slowly looks back to JD. What's the look that JD is displaying at the moment? With
right now, with him trying to play this game, JD has his arms at his side and the look on his face like, I would kill you and not care.
All right, roll an intimidation check.
Oh,
with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Since you had some
Right.
help.
Say, does this count as me helping?
You had some double help there.
That would be a 19.
19, okay. Well, JD, I know how you like to deal with things, so I can see where having a different Leonard in the room may help you guys out. So, I guess we'll play along.
After he says that, JD looks at him and goes, "I'm only asking you this one time," and points at the priestess and goes, "Because she asked me to."
Roll an
That
insight
was
check,
not
JD.
My insight check.
Hold on, let me look up something too. Where's my mouse?
You get an insight check. You get an
I have
insight
advantage.
check.
I have advantage on insight.
Very nice.
That be a 21 with advantage.
Okay.
21.
You feel like, even though Leonard has just agreed to that there's no way in the world that you believe that he meant what he said.
So JD looks at him and says, I was only asking out of courtesy to her. Here's how this is going to play out. And everybody's kind of can tell JD's tone changes. You're going to not be here. In fact, you're going to a disclosed location that myself and the priestess have already discussed. And she, and he points at Kaylin and goes, will be making sure you stay there.
Sure. I don't know why you changed your tone. I had just agreed to what you guys were saying. I don't know what you're talking about.
You left 2 of our party to be arrested and ran. You seemed to be intimidated and scared by the man you took me to see. I don't trust you. Haha, Miss DM strikes.
Dang, JD, I'm hurt that you find that you can't trust me. That breaks my heart. However, will I recover?
With a bullet
Here.
wound. I mean,
Let
wait,
me
Oh,
here. Let's hug it out like Anwer would want us to.
the moment that you try that, Clan, I'm going to shoot you.
I was gonna say you don't hug JD. No.
Sorry, distraction for a second. He's still peeking at me.
Oh, it was a Nolan then instead of a Miss DM.
All right. I mean, Leonard's just like aghast, like he's like, he can't believe you're saying this to him. He's like, I was agreeing to everything you were saying.
I don't trust you. So therefore, I will ensure you're not here.
He looks around. He's just, nothing has changed beside what you've said in the room. So he's just like waiting for something to happen.
At which point he turns and looks at Kyra and goes,
Don't hurt him, please. Too bad. I mean, he's really a nice guy. He just has his problems.
I did what you asked. You see his response.
Yeah.
Now we'll do it my way.
Yeah. Please, no blood on the books.
I mean, that's up to her. And he looks at Kayla and goes, she's the one going to be keeping him where he's supposed to be.
Oh,
See
he
a
won't
look of
move a muscle.
shock go over Leonard's face, like, you start walking toward him, or paint the scene here for me, guys, because otherwise it just looks like everybody's standing around looking at each other.
We're in a semi half moon circle, arms
It's just
crossed,
a standoff.
ready to put him in his place.
Leonard's got his hand hovering over his holy symbol here,
It's all right. JD's hands hovering over his
ready
gun.
to draw.
Oh, thank you for giving me this task, JD. Me and Leonard will have lots of fun if he acts out. Won't we, Leonard?
As you kind of walk up and put your arm around him and grab him on the shoulder, and he's just like, oh.
Between me and you, Leonard, some of them already know. I don't care for you holy people, so try me. Really, try me.
He kind of puts his hands up away from his holy symbol. He's just like, as you kind of lead him out of the room, and you look back at Kyra, and Kyra like kind of points down the hallway, and you lead him down the hall and through the door into the basement. Well, that worked out well. At least the cleaning I didn't get all messed up. He's really been helpful. He has been, especially I've been alone and no one here to help me.
I mean, I promised you that I wouldn't hurt anyone unless I had to. He pushed that envelope.
All right, so do you guys want to fast forward any to the meeting with Nathaniel, or are there other things that you need to do? Adara, is she just staying there and trying to get a long rest in?
Yes, unless she hears otherwise from them that they need her, she would stay and rest.
She's just there. Okay. All right.
So the only
right
other
now-
thing that JD would say before this started, like before we fast forward, is he looks at Progwin and says, the thing that you used on Raz in the prison, if we don't get the information we need, we may need that again.
Okay. I can do that.
And JD, if you have specific questions that you want asked, please let me know.
And she says that, JD hands her a piece of paper, and the main thing on it says, why are the Royals not running the Hell Riders? That's the main thing JD wants to know about this whole situation.
And that's it?
Yep. That's the main question.
Does anyone else have? I think I may see if Nathaniel can get us information about the security at the ball, the attendance, who's expected.
So it will be Ming and Kyrie. I mean Leonard.
Yes,
Speaking of
you and
Nathaniel.
Leonard, as he points at Kyrie.
Kyrie's gonna wink at her.
It's kind of awkward in many different ways there.
That's part of the fun.
So,
All right, so we'll fast forward as soon as Clan
JD
gets back.
JD just wants to know where a good vantage point close to the door is, like the main entrance, that he can set up for this meeting.
We should had Kaylin throw you up into the rafters.
I mean, I have a grapple hook. I can get my own damn self up in the rafters.
Sure, I
Okay,
have
but comedic value.
Kaylin is about to do dominatrix shit to Leonard if he decides to fuck up. We ain't messing with that. I mean, I feel like Prugwin could almost launch JD into the rafters too.
That's true.
Probably.
He's already halfway there.
Plus, I do have a magic carpet I could use if need be.
Yeah, that takes the fun out of it.
Diz, can I take part of that time to hang out with my new belt?
Yes, you can.
So that I'm officially attuned to it.
Yes. Yeah, anytime. You just needed like a short rest to do something like that. So
Just wanted
It's
to
like
get
an-
permission first.
it's like an hour, yeah. So you've got several hours here.
So did she give JD a location?
So you were asking Cairo?
I was asking
good-
the priestess.
Oh, I thought you
a
were.
good
I thought you were
vantage
saying that that was one of the questions you wanted to ask Nathaniel. What
No,
was the
no,
question
no, no.
again? Sorry.
point. Where's a good vantage point that JD could get to kind of have like a top-down view, but bar him from escaping if something happens?
Well, there is the main hall, where the sermons would normally happen. There is like an upper balcony. You could probably be up there. I don't know if you would prevent Nathaniel from. You don't have to worry about him. I mean,
It's not necessarily him I'm worried about.
it would be a good vantage point for you to hear what's going on. if that's the room that you want to do this in.
Where would you normally meet him if he came here?
Just different rooms. We've had some planning sessions here in the library. I mean, it's usually where I'm most comfortable, but there's no vantage point here unless you're just hiding in the hallway or behind a bookshelf.
I just want you to make it seem normal, whether it's here or the Great Hall or wherever you may need to go to have this conversation with him.
I mean, Leonard could just be in the Great Hall doing some of his cleric stuff, and that's where I take Nathaniel into so that we all can talk.
Okay. How many exits out of the Great Hall?
Let's see, there is one in the back. There's the one in the very front, down where the pews are.
And
That's it,
JD's
just the
asking
two.
as far as to leave the building as a whole.
Besides the windows, there's some stained glass windows in there, but they don't open. That would be it. And then there's two doors onto the balcony above, but from the bottom you couldn't really reach those.
So as she
Just
says
the front
that,
and the back.
JD looks at Progwin and goes, "Care to post up at the back door for this meeting?"
Okay.
I'll make sure he doesn't leave through the front.
Okay.
And
I
again,
think Progwin cracks his knuckles a little bit.
Bro.
and again, he looks at Kyra and goes, "Not trying to hurt him, but if he gets spooked, he will not leave without answering our questions."
Okay. I don't want him to hurt any of you either.
We shall see. I mean, we can always call Kalen in if he thinks he wants to hurt the party.
If you think I'm going into this unarmed, you are severely mistaken.
All right, so you want to fast forward to that moment? Okay. All right, so we've got Kaylin downstairs with Leonard, and we've got JD posted up top, right, in the balcony.
Yep.
Prog1 is at the back. So Prog1, where you're at, is there's like a door at the back, and it leads like into what would be like almost like an office area. And then from there, there's a door that leads out into like the hallways and stuff like that. So you're posted up in that office area. Kyrie, I would imagine you're just hanging out down where the pulpit would be in the big open auditorium-ish like area.
Feeling very awkward and trying to not do anything that will get me,
Yeah,
moot.
Yeah. You're like trying out different poses, like you kneel down and you're like, I don't know about that, and you stand behind the pulpit and you're like, just trying to figure out what looks the
She's
best.
feeling awkward as fuck because I don't know that she's ever been in an actual like temple to be doing holy things.
I feel like you're trying to draw on some like acting skill or something, or it's some type of performance you might draw upon yourself. And then Kyra would be waiting out kind of in the lobby, waiting for the. So, Clan, did you find the section in the notes there? Okay. All right. So you have the image of it and everything.
Nathaniel?
Yep.
Yes, I have him up.
All right. Give me 1 second and do. 1 second. Take care of some side stuff here. All right. Timmy, I sent you a message on what's going on kind of downstairs there. So if you want to just read over that.
There's a
When
cream
you
for
said
it.
there's 2 doors that lead upstairs, are they in the main hall or are they
there's
through
like
the hallway?
There's like some stairs that go upstairs, and there's some rooms up there, and there's like a hallway right there, and there's a door at each end that come out onto a balcony that's one big balcony. It's got like
But
maybe
Is it in the
6
room where they're going to meet, or is it the doors on the other side? Like they
Think
come
about
through and
where
then
the doors that there's double doors going into the big gallery, right?
okay.
Straight above it, there's a hallway, and there are 2 doors in that hallway that go out onto a balcony that's over top of that area.
Okay.
All right. Good to know.
Yep.
Good to know. Good to know. All right. So, Progwin, roll a perception for me.
Okay. Perception.
Adam, that picture makes me very happy.
I heard the ding.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not good.
All right. Noted. All right. So, getting around 8 o'clock ish. It's dark outside as it's in like the fall months now. You guys probably wouldn't hear, but there comes just a slight like creak of the door in the front. So most of you wouldn't hear because you're out of earshot of this. There's a few moments there, and then the 3 of you that are kind of hanging out in the edges of this big auditorium and are Kyrie, who is Leonard, is you would see the doors open at the end, and Kyra and Nathaniel walk through the door. Nathaniel's wearing armor, so you kind of hear the jingle of the armor before the door even opens. As he walks through, it's like a brass like color armor that kind of goes down his arms, and then you see a tabard covering the armor across his chest, which is like red and gold with like red lines going through it, and it comes down to below the belt as it kind of flares out almost like a coat, and then you see his like the brown pants going down into heavily armored boots. There is a long sword on his side and a dagger on the other side of his hip. And as he walks through, you see him just place a large shield down next to where the doors are as they walk through. As he comes into the light where you can see him, he's got like not really curly hair, but like it's like wavy. It's brown. It's parted on one side and kind of comes over, and just I would say a handsome guy, we'll say, right?
Let's say he's a pretty boy.
He is good to look at for those that prefer that type. So he walks down through there with Kyra, and you don't sense anything of him being suspicious of you. You can roll an insight check if you want to see if
Sure.
you're trying to read that.
Math. 23.
23. So I mean, you feel pretty confident that you have deceived, him, at least to this point, visually and in your gestures up until this point. So as they approach, Kyra says, So, we just wanted to talk, Nathaniel. There's the party coming up and everything. And she looks over at Leonard. Leonard had some specific questions. I think that's why we wanted you to come by.
Yes.
Very well.
And I'm gonna go over to them. It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Leonard. Hope you're doing well this day.
As well as can be. Yeah, we're starting to run short on time before this party that's happening. So we're trying to come up with plans.
Understandable.
We think we may have found a way in. I don't want to say too much to avoid getting you into trouble. But do you at least have an idea of what the security for the party will be, just so we know if our idea will work?
Yeah, the security will be handled like most parties, standard parties. There's a contingent of guards will be on duty, both inside and outside. And then there may be a couple of Hell Riders that are inside, closer to the royal family, as is custom.
Maybe. I mean, if it's custom, wouldn't they be there?
Well, they're going to be there. I just don't know how many are going to be there yet. The final numbers haven't been worked out, depending on how many people are going to be at the party.
Understood. So is the guest list not finalized? We don't know who or how many people are coming?
The last I heard, the guest list is finalized. However, not everyone has RSVP'd.
Is there anyone that we would consider an ally? Anyone we should avoid?
At this party, I would avoid everyone if possible.
Oh, it's that bad?
You got to remember, this is a party for the royal family. They're not. How do I put this lightly? They're not going to be inclined to be on the same side of this disagreement as us.
Leonard, you would remember, I mean, we've talked about this before. There are certain individuals in the town that might be closer associated with the family than we actually know at this point. Nathaniel has always given us great insight, but he's not signed directly to the royal family, so
Right.
He mostly goes out on the patrols and takes care of a lot of that stuff, so he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if, apart from our meetings here, if you knew of anyone else who might be sympathetic to what we're trying to do.
So Nathaniel, I need you to roll an insight check. Not on Kyrie, but on Kyra, who is acting really nervous.
Is this bitch about to blow our cover?
That was
Doing
a
great.
nat 1.
A natural 1. No,
Yep.
He does not care. Yes. Yep.
Nice one, Clan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Clan.
Proud of you,
I
Clan.
try to help when I can. No, I don't have the full details over everything like you say, but I should have more information as the party gets closer. If I were to wager, though, Hell Riders, I would say there will probably be at least 4. If I were putting there, I would put at least 4, yes.
At least 4 by the Royals. Understood. Now,
So,
I...
Nathaniel, there were a couple of holy men that had came to the temple in the past little bit here, and they were followers of Anwar and were going to help out in and around the temple. And she's still just screwing this up majorly, but with the natural 1, I mean, he's buying all of it, okay? So you don't even get to roll. It's just you're eating it up. They were arrested by the city guard, but then they've been transferred somewhere. Do you know? Have you heard anything of where these guys might have been transferred to? It was their name were she looks over at Leonard. What was their names again?
That lovely Sir Eldrick and Yarman, I believe was the other one.
Yarman and Sir Eldrick. Yarman and Sir. This was just a few days ago, right?
Yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the day before yesterday, maybe, or yesterday early.
I think the last word we had of them was about noon yesterday.
Let's see.
We're gonna have him roll an intelligence check just to see if he remembers, like, because he's usually not involved in this stuff, but you know, the information would have been floating around possibly.
Come on,
15.
clan. Yeah. Not bad.
What was the roll?
15.
15. You didn't hear of specific names, but you have heard that there were some holy men that had been transferred to a more secure location inside of the keep. And usually when you've heard that, there is a an area that you're not really sure of, but you think it's somewhere near, like, inside the royal, like where the royal chambers are, somewhere close by there. That's about the extent that you know of where this other prison is.
I was aware when I came back from my patrols of at least 2 holy men that were taken to the keep. Now, if prisoners are taken to the keep, they are taken, from what I'm told, is a secret chamber for the royal family themselves. I'm pretty sure, knowing what the rumors are about the royal family, that they're treated as playthings and used for their amusement. And then there was also, I didn't hear Anwar per se, but I do know there were some followers of Lathander that were taken. And I believe they were transferred there as well.
I don't understand why they would do that to men of the gods, but
The royal family does not care. They are sick, twisted individuals with carnal pleasures that don't. It's horrible.
is that why they've given up control of the Hell Riders?
They they've told us they have far more important things to take care of than going with the Hell Riders.
Not much respect for tradition, these people.
No, not much for tradition, but they trust the people they put in charge.
Still.
Do you think that's where the other holy men have disappeared? I mean, there's been a lot of people disappeared. Are they all
If they're
ended up in this?
If they're still alive, they're there. If they're dead, they were there.
And you don't know what happens to them there.
No, I've never been near the chambers, never been allowed in the royal area.
So you wouldn't have any directions that if a rescue were attempted.
I would not. I would be just as blind as you are going in there. The only thing I know of is what other Hell Riders that have been allowed in have been telling me, and honestly, they don't say much. If you go in that place too many times, you don't come back out the same person you were. I'll put it to you that way.
That's troubling, for sure.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you more, but High Rider Dremic doesn't trust me enough to give me details about the important business that goes on. I'm ordered to go on patrols. I do my patrols and I come back.
Now, do you know anything for the party security that would prevent guests from using magic or bringing weapons or anything along those lines?
Well, I would imagine that weapons will be checked at the door. Magic, you may be able to get a spell off or two, but I would imagine that there's some kind of dispel field, especially as you get closer to the royal areas.
And if someone needed to make a quick exit, do you know of the best route they could take, or have you not spent enough time in that area of the keep?
I mean, I've heard that every room has an exit somewhere in it. It's just finding it. The visible exits will be well guarded. If you make a scene and try to get out one of those, you're not going to make it out. If you can get through the guards, the Hell Riders will stop you.
So, whoever we send in, discretion will be everything.
Discretion is key, yes. And I would plan on finding my own way out once I got in. If you cause a scene, and I imagine that the people going in will cause a scene.
Well, I'd like to think they would do their best to blend, but...
Now, here's my question. Do you trust these people? Can I trust these people?
You can. I feel like they have the best intentions at heart. People that would, and then as she starts to say that, you hear the door at the end of the gallery where Kyra and Nathaniel came in open up, and it just kind of hits the wall, and then stepping out, you see the outline of two figures in the door, and as they step into the light, you see Leonard and Kalen. Kalen's standing off to his left, kind of looking a little dazed and kind of just staring off into the ceiling a little bit. Leonard says, "Sorry I'm late for our meeting. I was preoccupied by this one. It was a lovely date, but, you know, gotta attend those meetings." Kyra's like, "Oh no.
grab my sword, pull it out.
Nathaniel, no,
What?
no. Can explain.
Speak fast.
They didn't know if they could trust you. They just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page. I told them that you had more to lose than they did.
Hard to
Well,
trust someone when your first meeting is built on lies and illusions.
When she says the trust issue part, JD speaks up from the balcony and goes, "To be completely frank, you work with a piece of shit faction that has no more honor, and I couldn't discern whether I could trust you or not."
The current Hell Riders may have an issue, but the legacy of the Hell Riders is one of honor, sir.
I agree, but I'm talking of the present Hell Riders. I'm talking about Dermot in particular.
I have no love for that man.
And as he says that, JD starts to walk downstairs.
Kyrie's gonna look over at Kyra and be like, I should change
So
back.
there's no stairs from the balcony down, so you hear JD walk up and go
That's what
out
I'm
the
saying. Like, I'm
door
going all the
and
way
go
around to come back behind Leonard.
It's
And
an
as I
awkward,
come-
like,
As
30,
I come down
45
the
seconds.
stairs behind Leonard, there's a gun in his back.
Oh, no need for that.
Told you
Actually,
I
I
didn't
think-
fucking trust you.
You're gonna make the situation worse than it already is.
Go ahead in the room.
He moves forward. Caleb, he has a gun in my back.
And
Caleb
then
reaches over and grabs you. Says, Caitlin's like, JD, why do you have a gun on my friend?
because he's a liar.
Here, I have an idea. Why don't both of us put down our weapons?
As he says, because he's a liar, and Nathaniel says what he says, JD goes over comms and goes, Prugwin, come on in.
Okay, be right there.
I'm gonna say that Kyrie drops the shape shifting, and that earlier when they were prepping, rather than like turning her armor fully into the robes, she just threw robes on over what she was wearing. So she's
Okay.
just Kyrie's just in priest's robes standing in front of these people now.
All right.
With her weapons underneath.
So you've got JD with a gun on Leonard. Kaylin has her hand on your shoulder, JD, squeezing a little tightly. And Prugwin walks in the back. Kyra's just in the middle going, just seeing it all just fall to pieces.
I'm gonna walk over to
Alright.
Kaylin. And
Ira. Answers, please.
They didn't know if they could trust you because you're a member of the Hell Riders, and I said you were not like the other Hell Riders. You actually had honor, and they. I don't
we
know that
wanted
they
to
could
be
trust
sure
me.
you spoke freely. I say over my shoulder as I move towards Kaylin.
Yes, and you. What kind of trickery is that?
She ignores him. She's gonna walk up to Kaylin. And she's gonna put a hand on her shoulder and look her in the eyes and say, Kaylin, dear,
Yes.
that's enough of that, my darling. Let JD
Ro-
go. And I'm
Roll
going
a-
to
Okay, go
going
ahead.
to use panache. and I'm going to make a persuasion check contested by insight check on a success. I'm assuming, is Kaylin hostile or non-hostile right now?
I would say she's being protective. I don't know. That's slightly hostile.
Well, because I need to know if she's going to be charmed by me for 1 minute or have disadvantage on attack rolls against targets.
She's being slightly hostile, so she's barely being hostile, but you'd have to say
So
hostile towards JD.
it wouldn't be charming her.
Oh, so what was the option? Hostile or
non-hostile? So hostile would be hostile creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets and can't make opportunity attacks against targets other than you for 1 minute or until one of your allies engages it. If it isn't hostile, it is charmed by you for 1 minute.
Because it's just so close as being, kind of a hostile action, but she hasn't like punched him or anything like that. Okay. Not hostile then, we'll say.
Not hostile, sweet. I'm gonna try to charm her.
Okay.
So that's a 16 persuasion versus an insight from Kaylin.
All right, Kaylin, roll us an insight.
I swear to God, Tim.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Motherfucker! I was trying to get you out of it, Tim.
Yeah, I can't fake the rolls.
As that's happening, and she still has her arm on JD, JD says to Leonard, "You can get her to let me go, or I'll drop you before she has a chance to finish me."
You're going to shoot a cleric inside the temple of his god.
You're starting the hostile intent. I'm just going to finish it.
I don't think
Sir,
you know
let's be
Anware very well.
peaceful about everything. Let's everyone just breathe.
Let him go. Kaylin just lets go of you, and he drops the charm.
As she lets go, JD holsters his gun and pushes him out of his way to walk towards Nathaniel.
All right, make an attack, an unarmed attack. It's not to do damage, but it's just to push.
Right.
Yeah.
Unarmed. So just unarmed strike with adding my plus to it, just to move him.
Yeah, just to move, just to see if it hits.
So that is a 12 plus 6, so 18.
18 misses. You push him, but he doesn't move.
At which point JD's going to kick him
Okay.
in the back of his leg.
Okay. Make another unarmed strike.
Pick your DM this.
God, oh, what happened?
That is a 16 plus 6.
Okay. So as you hit the first time, okay, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
What?
Before you do the kick.
That is a 25 on the con save.
25. You feel your arm kind of like almost go numb and tingly, like pins and needles all over it, and then you just shake it, and it comes back. You seem to resist whatever is happening, and you kick Leonard. That one was a 22, did you say, or what was it?
That was a 16 plus 6, yeah, 22.
22. So that one, it hits, and it does. What does it do?
I mean,
like
it's 3 points of damage, but I'm just trying to like kneecap him to get him to kind of stumble in front of me. I'm not trying to physically hurt him.
3 points of damage. I need you to roll another Constitution saving throw.
That is a 19.
19. On that one, your right leg that you kicked with goes numb, and now your whole right leg is numb.
Huh. So my normal life in IRL. Got it.
Yes. So He takes the kick and he goes over against one of the pews, but your leg is now numb. And he looks around and says, I told you, it's not the best place to be attacking me.
I'm not scared of you or your god. I just wanted your big ass out of my way.
And I don't know why you have to be afraid of me. I told you I just wanted to help out.
You're not helping.
Are you two done having your pissing contest?
Got a
JD starts walking
leg now.
towards Nathaniel, dragging his right leg.
Okay.
As Kyrie sees that Kaylin's no longer charmed, she still has her hand on her shoulder and she's gonna say, there's our girl. Welcome back.
Where was I?
Well, I'm assuming that Leonard got the drop on you somehow. Smooth talker. Happens to everyone.
I'm gonna have his head on a pike.
Not yet, but if it comes to that, you get first tips.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my dear.
And then turn around and head towards Nathaniel and Kyra and JD.
Okay.
Heavens, I hate holy men.
All right, so you make your way up to Nathaniel. It's a slow dragging of the leg up through here.
Yeah, because that's not going to deter JT at all. I mean, I don't get deterred by it, so there's no reason JD's going to get deterred by it.
Nathaniel holds out his hand. Nathaniel Linhart.
He slowly gets up to you, and then kind of, I guess it's more up like this, because I figure, you're taller than me.
He's
By far. So I would be JD. And I guess since we're going on ceremony, my last name is Single Barrel.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Single Barrel.
The reason for the farce is because, like you said, the Hell Riders of today have no honor. We could not be assured that you did, even with her reassurance.
Listen, I wouldn't be as far up in the Hell Riders as I am if it wasn't for my name. They don't give me at least the rank that I have now. The noble people will get a little antsy about their place in society.
The reason for the major deception is because I know of the Hell Riders. I know that the royals should have someone leading you, and they do not.
No, there's not been a royal with us in forever.
Does that not concern you?
Everything in this town concerns me. But, there's not much I can do about it. I just know that they said that they have other things to deal with, and then they start appointing people to lead the Hell Riders. So I assume that these people are their chosen. Whatever reason. And apparently they don't like me, which is fine.
Apparently they didn't like the initial leader either if they let Dermot become in charge.
Just scrounged his way in. When it's time for him to go, another one will take his place.
He's the worst of you.
Yes. You are not wrong. However, it's the royal family that you must be concerned with.
From what I've been able to ascertain from certain pictures and books. Certain royal family members seem to be a part of the royal family long since past their expiration date.
Well, they change from time to time. But as you say, if you research using the books, the histories of the town, you will notice that the appearances of the royal family sometimes repeat.
And he kind of looks over at Kyrie and goes, she could make herself look like most people, but she's not that damn good to be able to show up decades later looking the exact same.
I mean, in theory, I could. I just choose not to.
I mean, you would have to be someone that has a very long life.
Well, he
If
said
you're
a
thinking
couple
that it's-
decades, not
that it's the same
centuries.
person.
Decades isn't. Decades is doable. All I'm saying.
I was telling Nathaniel that they seem to change beyond at least what a normal human would live. That way, I think that's how they're disguising what they're doing. But whatever they are, they're apparently not very creative, because that's where I noticed the mistakes, that they would just duplicate how they looked ever so often. And you wouldn't notice unless you went back and looked at the whole lineage.
Right. Kyra and I looked, and it seems like like she said, 2-3 lifetimes for a human at least, they seem to repeat.
Does
Or at
it
least
seem?
one or two of them do.
Does it seem as though they leave and someone else takes over, or do they take on new faces?
I don't know. I don't even know if Nathaniel's been close enough to know anything like that.
It's always explained to me that this is the new heir or the new family member, and here they are. You got to remember, most of the town doesn't have access to the books and stuff that Kyra does. And then also, there's not very many non-humans here, and if there are, they don't stay very long. The town is not what it once was. So, I mean, if you can go more than 50, 60 years with the same face,
There's never any grandparents. It's always just the mother, the father, and the son and the daughter.
mm-hmm.
What are the
You would think
odds?
at least one time someone would have to have 2 daughters or 2 sons, or 1 daughter, 1 son. Sometimes maybe even no children, but it's always the same.
Where the grandparents are. I mean, you don't see them leave.
Where do you patrol when you patrol?
Just outside the city. I go about 20, 30 miles out, circle around, come back, check the farms, outlying areas that still claim as part of the city.
How often do you run into victims with holes in their necks?
Victims with holes in their necks.
And when he says that, kind of curious, JD puts 2 fingers about where there would be a vampire bite. About like this.
I have never encountered it. I have heard reports of corpses with strange markings, but I've only heard of 1 or 2.
They do
You
rather,
know
rather well
something?
to. Maybe. I don't know if the royal family is to be put into that category because I haven't met them. But there have been vampire attacks from Baldur's Gate all the way to Icewind Dale.
Vampires, you say? You think they're here? Do you think they're the royal family?
What else lives for centuries at a time and never ages?
Elves?
Could be.
But you said humans.
Yeah, but I mean, vampires? I mean, can they change the way they look?
I mean, I can disguise myself to look like someone else if I choose. She could
I'm not-
disguise herself entirely.
I'm not an expert on it, but I have read some about. I mean, vampires aren't much different than a mortal in at least using magic. So if any one of us could use magic to do it, they could do it as well.
I guess I'm not familiar with the powers of vampires. I've just heard stories when I was a youngster.
Kyra, do you have any books on changelings or what I am? I'm curious if
I would have to look. I don't know.
people like me would retain those gifts when infected. She's gonna kind of look at JD.
Well, a vampire changeling. That would be.
Dangerous.
A problem.
Would think that they would, but I don't. I'm not sure if anyone would has that knowledge to write it down.
Yes, well, we are hard to track.
Yeah. Also, it would be odd for vampires, and forgive me, this is just a generalized statement. I haven't researched it thoroughly, but vampires seem to group together, while changelings, I think, are more loners.
That we are. Fair, it was just a thought.
But a vampire changeling, I don't know if they would group or separate. You can see she's getting just stuck in the logic here and is completely lost sight of what's going on in the
She's
room.
got nerd glaze going.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to derail your train of thought, Kyra, but now that we've all met and seemingly trust each other, what is the plan now?
Do you want to tell him, or
I'm just looking at JD.
I mean, I feel that somehow I'm involved since I was brought here to talk to Leonard, and then he looks at Kyrie.
She just grins at him.
You were mainly brought here so we could tell if you were to be trusted. She informed us and looks at Kyra that there was someone on the inside. I wanted to see who it was.
Well, now you know.
There are more of us than what you see here. They're not here at this present time, though.
So I take it the plan is for all of you to go to the party?
We have a few that have already acquired the ability to attend.
Merchant invites, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Always have the invites, always needing a date.
A few of us have not managed to be as and he kind of looks around thinking of the best word. We aren't able to use our assets to our advantage.
What are you looking at me for?
Ah, I understand.
We'll tell you later.
As of now, we can get 3 in without a problem.
3's a good number. If you want to go in unnoticed. As long as you don't raise too much of a fuss. He once again looks at Kyrie.
She just grins again. Sir, I'm quite subtle. When this doesn't happen, and she's just gonna kind of glare over at Leonard for a second.
Will Dermot be one of the ones attending the party?
It's
He will
Drimic.
be
no.
there.
Dermot.
Yep.
He will be there, yes. He is one of the chosen of the royal family. All the
course he
chosen
is.
will be there. They're required to be there. If 3 of you have ways in, I may be able to help get some of you in as wait staff.
He turns
you're
to listen, Prugwin. Wait staff. Can you blend in?
That may be a problem.
I mean, surely some of you have magical ways of changing your appearance if need be.
Oh, Prugwin as a waiter, that'd be so cute.
I mean, if not, I'm sure there are baubles and trinkets in town that will do the same. Surely.
My talents are only skin deep.
I bet.
She's gonna half glare at him.
Easy there.
But I think I can. The chef and stuff there at the keep owe me a few favors for the non-discretionary activities that they like to do.
JD kind of chuckles and goes, I've been known to cook, but I don't think anyone wants me to wait on the people at this party.
Can you clean?
I make a mess.
Well, I mean, surely we can find a job for you, but I should be able to get a couple of you in, like I said.
We
if you're
might
interested.
potentially send a couple in invisible.
Invisible?
If they have magic suppression, that could be problematic, JD.
I'm just talking about getting through the door.
At least if you're working there, no one will raise a fuss if you're going into certain rooms. Because you will have to wait on the royal family as well. it will be expected.
How many can you get in?
Let me talk to them and I'll see how many I can get in. He said I'll have to cash in all my favors, but I'll get as many of you as I can, and I will either I will come back and let you know how many, or I will let Kyra know. And I'll drop off the required clothing.
With what JD knows at this present time, he's thinking of Morwen himself, Huck, and Prugman, because he doesn't know what Adara's found out. So it looks like at least 4 to his size.
Okay, so 4. I'll see if I can get 4 people in.
Waitstaff should have enough run of the entire keep to a point.
Listen, I would love to stay and chat, but I have to go on patrols in an hour. So, anything further you need from me?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, good. Like I said, if you don't hear from me, I'll let Kyra know, and I'll drop off the appropriate attire for the party. So, it was not a pleasure, but definitely interesting meeting all of you. Hopefully next time, there'll be a little more trust between us. Also,
Except for with that one, and he looks at Leonard.
don't kill Leonard, I need him. You all leave the city eventually. I have to stay.
Do you know what he's on?
Of course.
Please don't tell me that you put him into that situation.
No, he did that all of himself. I had nothing to do with it. But let's just say sometimes it makes him more malleable to ideas that he would normally not be so courageous, let's put it, to make. So, if there's no further questions or concerns, I will bid you all farewell.
I have one more.
Yes?
Why does the one running the city not fear the Hell Riders?
Why does the royal family not fear the Hell
No,
Riders?
and he points at Leonard. He's trying not to give the name.
Gotcha. Why does he not fear the Hell Riders? Because they're in his pocket.
I figured as much. I met with him.
Yes, remember I said the royal family has their chosen? Their chosen don't all hold military ranks.
That explains more than it needs to, unfortunately, in this town.
See you all later.
All right. So with that, as Nathaniel leaves, everybody kind of just looks around at each other slightly, and we're gonna take a quick break.
I don't know if slightly is the word I would use on JD looking at Leonard. I'm just saying.
So there probably might be some discussions there, and we'll either pick up there or we'll pick up on the next day right after the break here. So we'll be back here in just a few minutes. All right, we're back, and everyone is rested, as after the meeting the previous night, everyone kind of went back to the inn and rested. Huck was left at the Matthias's junkyard, and so we have a couple of characters that were going to rise a little bit earlier than probably the other ones. With Adara, who got a really good nap in the afternoon before, so she's up bright and early working on some things, and so the rest of you becomes morning, and you guys go downstairs. And JD, you can tell me when you would have came back in or not.
Okay.
I was gonna say, at some point, like when the early hours came and the downstairs started opening up, Adara would go down there, and that's where she would be kind of writing out what she saw in Huck's vision and kind of like sketching out some of the things she saw.
All right. JD, you probably see Adara on your way out. She's probably already down there, sitting in a booth, just kind of.
It's fine. JD doesn't bother her at all. He just wants them outside.
Yeah. Looking like one of those college students at one of the fast food restaurants, just books out all over the table.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so everybody else would come down probably before JD gets back. And you guys would probably start having some food, and I don't know, you can go over what if you actually tell her about what happened the night before, or what
We'll say we're filling her in.
Okay. You're filled in.
Okay.
It sounds like Kyrie tells you most of the story, so it makes her look really good in the story. So
I look
that's the version you get.
fabulously sassy, and I definitely was the one who saved Kaylin.
Yeah, so that's the
Can I
the
insight
version of the
check
story,
it?
you know. Sure, yeah. Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
roll deception for this shit. Bring it on.
I just want to see if I actually believe her or what.
Sure.
Because I feel like it would be funny.
That's an 18.
My rolls are awful today, so this is probably down.
If it makes you feel better, that was on the dice. The 6.
Yeah, mine's a 15.
Okay. All right.
I rolled up. Not as bad as they were earlier. Holy crap.
Plus 12 the deception, bitches.
Dang. All right, so JD comes back in at some point here after Kyrie has updated you on the story from last night, and
When JD walks back in, he doesn't go to their table.
okay.
He sits down at an empty table, and he pulls out a piece of paper and some charcoal, and he starts going to work on something at the table.
Okay. Yeah. So what does the rest of you want to do?
Do we notice him walk in?
Yeah, I'd say I don't think he was sneaking in, so yeah.
I'm casually flirting with Kaylin.
Adara will look over to JD, and then she'll look back at the table, and she'll telepathically link to him and be like, not fond of us this morning? Is everything okay?
And she just sees him drawing. Like it's not a furious scribble, but it's very, like, he's very focused at what he's doing.
She'll kind of pause for a minute, like not seeing him turn or anything, and she'll get up and walk over. Something on your mind, JD? You seem focused this morning.
There is. And he's still drawing. Like, he hasn't even looked up. Because what's on his mind is what he's putting on paper.
Kyrie filled me in about last night. Seemed to go rather well from my understanding.
I guess so. It could have been better. Fuck Leonard.
Yeah. Still don't like that guy much either, to be honest. So, what you working on? Didn't know you drew.
I have to have schematics in order to build new weapons.
Ah, yes, forgot. The tinkering.
And when he finishes a rough sketch of what he's doing to start with, he flips the paper over and he starts drawing out something else that doesn't look the same.
Well, I have a few drawings of my own, some notes. You know, I know you're close to Huck. I didn't know if you maybe wanted to see some of what I saw. I know it's hard for me to really show it. It was hard enough to try and get Huck to see it, but I tried to draw out some things and make some notes.
I mean, whatever you were doing, I saw magic happening, but I couldn't make out any of it.
Yeah, it's really a one-person sort of thing. It's not intended to work that way, but it was the only thing I could think of to show him something. But I just from memory sketched out some of the older things I saw, some of the older Warforged, and just the massive amount of them, the battle, and Huck has really been through a lot.
In the picture of the battle, does JD recognize it, Dis, considering his backstory with his grandfather?
Roll a history check.
That would be a 15 because I have no pluses.
15. It's hard to say. It's not something. I would say that it's not an area that you're familiar with,
Right?
From the drawing and the battle scene, I guess, that's portrayed doesn't look like anything you've been part of.
Well, I was going with like any stories from my uncles and my grandfather from the back, from my backstory.
Mm.
The ones that were involved with the war.
All right, roll an intelligence check to see if you remember the details.
That's going to be even worse than history. Shit. So just add the intelligence modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that's going to be worse. That'd be a 12.
12. Well, that roll isn't bad. That roll doesn't need to be as high because it's not.
I mean, it's worse than history's roll. Just saying, because he did 2 intelligence on me back to back.
You kind of feel like it could be related to like one of the stories they told you, because I would say if you draw on the battle scene, it portrays a lot of Warforged on the battlefield. So that would be the only thing you could think of. That's the only stories of Warforged battling that you know of.
Right.
Is the one way before the Cataclysm happened.
Yeah. JD kind of looks at the scene and thinks for a minute and goes, if Huck was there, he's very old. My family fought in this war a very long time ago.
You know when this was from?
I mean, if it's the same war that you're drawing from, you're looking at between 500 and 1,000 years ago that this happened.
It was different. I mean, everything I saw was what seemed through Huck's eyes. He, looks like they were battling, elves. They were dark-skinned, not like the ones I've seen from where I'm from. I don't think. She wouldn't know anything of. I just don't want to lie, I guess. If she knows, I would be like, she recognizes this, but.
I would say that she would know that they look drow.
Okay.
I think she would know about the race. And it's not like all the drow are evil, and she might have even met a drow before, just not common.
So she would say, that they were elvish looking, almost drow-like, darker skinned dwarves. These were who they seemed to be battling.
I mean, that was from what my great-grandfather and stuff told me. This was the war that took place before everything broke apart. This is when the Underdark came up to claim land over the dominions over the land and uproot everything. I wasn't aware Huck was that old.
Well, it does appear that he may have been. I know you don't know much about me, JD. I understand that you don't know us very well. But I was given...
Right before you finish that, he goes, honestly, I only know 3 people, and I don't trust all of you that way.
Well, I guess now that I have a moment to actually properly talk to you, not when, somebody's dying in the middle of the night and I can't really understand what's happening. But, I was given a gift to see things. I think you understand that by now. I was sent here to help those who were at Baldur's Gate that night. And all I know is that I just have to keep following the path to ensure that we reach what's supposed to happen. If I don't do that, my kingdom falls.
JD looks at her and he goes, you mean at Daggerfruit? I saw you there.
Yes.
I saw you. With Prugwin and Exire and that piece of shit that I put in the ground and Huck. I've always kept an eye on him. Even if he didn't know I was there.
And why weren't you there?
I was there.
No, but why didn't they know you were there?
Because Galen was there. And then he stops. He goes, I'm sorry. You know him as that. Flairdrin was there. And I owed him a debt. If you could put it that way. He ruined my life. And I wanted to watch.
Why would you let them get so close? Why would you let him get so close to people you care about?
I wasn't there when he joined them. I was in Icewind Dale at the time. To be fair, I didn't know if they wanted me there at all. They didn't. When we parted, they didn't care whether I joined them or not. They seemed like it was fine that we parted ways. But when I caught up to them, Flairdrin was there, and I kept tabs on them until he attempted to do what he did the night that I killed him.
I see. Well, JD, I know you care a lot about them. And no, I'm only here to help in whatever way I can.
Flairdrin conned you
You did.
It was actually humorous to be quite honest. Because I've never known him to be that nice to any fucking buddy.
You know, they do say some of the most evil people are some of the most devious.
However, and he looks over at Prugwin at the other table. He says, I'll be damned if I was going to stand by and watch him slit his throat. I can't say that at this present time that I would do the same for all of you. But Prugwin and Huck, as you've seen, I'll kill somebody for them.
We'll get Huck fixed. I promise. And she'll kind of stand up and she'll kind of tap Buck on the shoulder a little bit. And
Tap Buck.
Tap Buck. She'll tap JD on the shoulder. Listen, I was looking directly at your name when I said that. And then she'll kind of walk towards the bar to go grab a drink.
And as she steps away, JD will just keep drawing to finish out what's fresh on his mind.
So, anything else going on in the bar?
Like I said, casual flirting.
Okay. So, jumping ahead in the day here, what are your guys' plans? Are you going back for Huck? Do you want to plan out what's going to happen at the party? Just tell me.
JD's going to go check on Huck, but JD also has the other stop to make.
Okay. All right. So JD is going out. Does any of you go along with him, or are you doing your own thing?
Depends. Is JD gonna let us see him leaving?
That's a good question.
Right?
I guess it depends on if you were staring at his table, because he doesn't say anything. He just finishes what he was doing, and when he feels it's time to go, he walks out the door.
I'm staring at Kaylin. Sorry.
I'll roll to see if I see it.
You guys can roll a perception check to see if you see him going out. Also, Prugwin's there,
Probably
so you can roll too, Prugwin.
Okay.
Yep, that's a nat 1.
Yep, she is fixated. Well, Adara's apparently fixated on drinking.
I'm apparently fixated on Kaylin's titties.
That is a 14.
I got a 19.
Oh, so
19.
Prugwin definitely saw JD walk out the door.
Not that you're being stealthy. Just roll a stealth roll for me.
Oh, well, he
Right.
may not have. Shit. No, I mean...
Did you also roll a 9-1, please?
No, I rolled a nat 20 with a +9.
Okay, I guess nobody sees him get up.
Bye, JD. Have fun. Don't get hurt. Okay, bye. Pack a lunch.
Just like, not that you're trying to be stealthy. I'm like, well, I just said, fuck it. Just bammed out the door.
Yep. You guys look over and there's just some empty tankards on the table, and that's it.
Kyra didn't. Well, sorry, Nathaniel didn't say when he would get word to Kyra, did he?
Nope. I don't think
Just
you guys
before the
asked him.
party.
I don't think he said either.
Okay.
He just said that if he couldn't get a hold of us, he'd give her the information. That's all he told us.
Okay.
I think
And the
Adara would
outfits.
probably wander back over to the table, and I was gonna say she's gonna mention the outfits and say, did you guys find your stuff left on your bed?
Oh, yeah. It's not my size or color.
Yeah, I wasn't
do
sure
I-
really what to do with it.
Do I really have to go as Stenasi? We could just tell him that she's taken ill, or
I'm not sure. Whatever you think is best, I suppose. I don't know what you'll wear, but I guess we could always figure that out.
Honey,
right. Duh. You have
Yes.
weird clothes. Got it. Right.
yes.
So we're good.
Yes.
I'm
covered.
Oh, one other thing.
Literally.
Might have forgot to mention this. Was up late last night after sleeping a long period of time, but I'm just kind of scatterbrained. More when may have been, what do you want to call it? Zap-napped by Stanasi? What else to call it other than zap-napped?
That girl
That's
really
canon
needs to
now.
get that
That's
checked out.
canon.
Zap-napped by
Zap-napped.
Stanasi.
Zap-napped by Stanasi. According to the bartender, he came down, Stanasi showed up, poof, they disappeared.
The girl really needs to get that checked out. Although sometimes
I don't
it's
think they make a
convenient.
cream for that.
So,
Yeah, well.
yeah. There's also that. I'm not really sure to do that
Lovely.
information. I hope he's feeling better. I know he kind of felt how I felt when we came back, so hopefully he's doing better than he was when we last saw him.
Let's hope so.
But he was up and moving, so that's a plus, I guess.
Progress.
So you didn't hear JD go out, but you hear the door of the inn open abruptly. And you see Kyra standing there, almost frantic looking, and she steps into the bar area and is just looking around trying to see if she sees you guys.
I would turn. I would turn like hello.
And she kind of just haphazardly kind of walks over to you guys, partially holding her mouth. She's breathing hard. She gets to the table. She's like, Leonard, he wanted. He said he wanted to prove that he was actually part of the team, and he went and got himself arrested.
Of course he did.
Good.
He said he could probably figure out where the others were and use his magic to send us a message.
Was he sober?
Is he ever sober? I don't know. I've never been in that condition.
You want to be?
Halen. Time and place, dear.
It's now in the bar.
Where did he get arrested?
I don't know exactly where he got arrested, but he bolted out sometime this morning, and
Jesus Christ. Where's
it wasn't
JD?
like he was asking permission. He just told me what he was doing and left.
I don't know where JD is. He must have took off. He was at the table last I turned around. He was gone. I don't know.
All right. So you heard he was arrested.
He said he was
about
going
where
to get arrested. I don't know if he has been. Oh,
Do you know which direction he went?
towards the upper district.
Can fly over if you want.
I was going to say, how fast can that broom go?
Pretty fast. We could go look for him. I don't know.
Yep. We should go. At least to see if we can stop him, or if it's too late to stop him, at least watch where they take him. Or we're just shit out of luck and he's already gone. God,
Well,
fucking idiot.
Do we have to? God.
I mean,
He could-
somebody needs to let
He
JD
could have at least told us ahead of time so we could have made a plan, and son of a bitch.
This is why every day I found more reason to hate that holy man.
No shit. But,
Well,
well,
I can fly the fastest probably alone. I could just make a once over and see if I see him.
Yes, fly up there. Rest of us can follow. Because if he won't listen to just you, we should at least have brute force on standby. Shit. And we don't
Do we even
Tyra, can you wait here for JD? We aren't certain where he is.
Yeah.
And tell him what that fucking idiot did and that we've gone to try to stop it, because if they catch him and they interrogate him, this entire plan goes to shit.
Zara's gonna go ahead and just walk out the front door and take off to try and go as fast as she can to fly and see if she can see him anywhere on the way up to the northern district, I guess.
Okay. So as you fly, are you flying fast?
I would say she'd probably be a little methodical. Like, she's going quick, but she's also trying to like look for him. So like she's not like, you know, she's trying to like swerve in and out through the area and just kind of like looking around, seeing if she can spot him or anything going on, any loud commotion, anything like that.
I just see you flying behind buildings and like peeking out from the building of the roof.
Serpentine!
All right, roll a perception check as you're going up through there. The rest of you, are you just going on foot or?
Yeah.
Oh my lord, my roll! What is wrong with all of these dice?
I will go with Kyrie. And before we leave, Kate dear, a round of drinks for the holy woman, please, on me. Thank you, dear.
Of course, as you pay for the drinks as you go out. Rowan, are you going with the two on foot there?
Yeah, I'll tag along.
Tag along. Okay. All right. What was your
Looks like he
perception
needs a
roll up
drink.
there?
Mine was an 8.
An 8. Yep. You do one round, and you're a little nervous going up in the upper district of being seen, kind of flying over. So you're trying to be a
Makes sense.
little elusive. So you don't see anything on the first go round.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I try something?
You can try whatever you want to try.
Do I see a flock of birds anywhere?
Roll a perception.
Please let me see a flock of birds.
Are we talking flock of seagulls?
19.
19.
Mine.
That's what I was thinking
19.
about.
You do see some birds. It happens to be fall, and there's quite a bit of birds, migrating. So there are actually several groups of birds that you see.
All right, because she's not seeing anything, and she's at this point, she's just like, I got an idea. She's going to land. I'm assuming they're like on a rooftop or something somewhere.
Okay.
She's flying up, so
Yeah.
she's gonna land on the roof, kind of a distance away from the birds. She's gonna cast Speak with Animals,
Okay.
and she's going to say, excuse me, gentlemen, ladies, birds, hi.
All right, Clan. Your motivation is you are a pigeon. Okay.
I'm a pigeon. Okay. Who's there?
All right.
It's me, over here, to your left.
Bread?
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 No. Although maybe I could get you some bread if you could help me.
Okay.
I'm trying to locate someone. How many birds are there? Like, how many birds am I talking to?
I'd say there's probably a good 50 birds on the roof
Oh,
there. So
fuck
just
yeah. Okay, 50 birds. Got it. So
when you're talking to them, you're not just hearing bread. You're hearing bread.
Yeah, bread.
who is there a leader? One of you who flies first?
Me.
Oh, excellent, perfect.
Me.
I'm trying to locate someone, and I was wondering if I could get you guys some bread. Maybe could you help
Bread?
me?
Bread?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So and then she's gonna give this description of Leonard to these birds that he's probably in his holy robes, like roughly, I think he has brownish hair. Probably
I'm
causing
colorblind.
a scene. Are birds colorblind?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a birdologist.
Are birds
Considering that, I don't think so. Considering that male birds tend to be brighter colored for mating purposes.
Google says that birds actually see more colors than humans can.
There we
That's where they can see
go.
ultraviolet light. There you
Let's
go.
go. Okay. So she's gonna give a really good description of Leonard. I'm looking for this man. He probably could be causing a scene. Trying to get arrested. Somewhere up in this upper district. Do you guys think you could try and locate him for me?
Huh?
Maybe
Man?
Yeah,
Bread?
Yeah. Man. Bread.
bread.
Man.
And then if you come back and tell me where he is, I will get you some bread at the tavern down the road.
Bread.
Bread?
Bread.
Bread.
Yes.
Okay.
So make a persuasion check for the birds.
Oh god, I have terrible persuasion.
Anybody
Okay.
know the DC of a persuasion check on
For
a
a bird?
migrating swallow?
Who loves bread? All right, 13.
13. Okay. It's not very hard to persuade birds. So that, you feel like that's a success
That's true.
as they take
Yeah.
flight.
50 birds. Excellent. I've
Yeah, just-
created my my army of birds.
Just in different directions, there's groups of birds flying.
All right, and then she's going to like not really move too much, but she's gonna kind of like keep a listen out and also kind of like maybe just slightly fly around looking for obvious things that are wrong.
Okay. So while that transpired, the other guys are making it. I don't think they're quite close enough. They're probably just making it up to the turn to go up to the upper district at this point. So as you're flying around, rolling another perception check. Now, JD, I do believe the shop that you had went to before was in the upper district. I think, if I remember correctly. So you roll a perception check as well, as you are possibly in the area.
16.
Not you guys. I don't think you're close enough yet to hear this. So
okay.
you're almost there. And if
Oh, did you say I'm rolling? I'm sorry.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was confused.
Lady, did I say Ellen? I'm not sure. I'm in
JD.
bird brain mode. So.
JD got a
I
21.
got bird brain. Oh, thank God.
21,
That's
okay.
great. I got an 11.
An 11. Okay, so you just can't believe that you talk to birds. So apparently you're just thrown for a loop here.
I'm busy.
JD, you hear as you walk out of the shop, someone say, "Damn it! What's the birds? They're just leave me alone." And as you look over, you see Leonard swatting at some birds that are circling around him, and they have pooped all over him. And then they fly off, and he looks down, and you guys kind of just lock eyes.
When JD sees it, he has a smile on his face, like yes.
But
And
you
then
don't
he
know
looks
what's going on.
Well, no, he looks at it and
Right,
says yes
so-
because he got shit all over. He's like yes.
I know. Yeah.
And then
Get
JD
shit
goes,
on.
"What in the hell are you doing here?"
Got something to do, and it's gonna prove that I'm not a hindrance. I'm going to help this team. I'm part of the team. Don't try to stop me. As he kind of starts to walk off.
At which point JD takes a deep breath and goes, "No one said you were a fucking hindrance, but what you're about to do may very well compromise what the hell we're trying to accomplish."
He kind of stops and walks over and kind of bends over as he's kind of in a whispered voice. "I can get arrested. They're already looking for me. And then I can send a message to you guys to let you know where this other prison is or where they've taken them."
What happens if they have stronger magic than you and you tell them about us.
Hadn't thought of that.
Idiot.
Or, even better, what happens if you succeed and you are the royal family's top plaything?
Well, you guys would be in there before that time, I would think.
Who says? Who's to say that if they arrested you that you wouldn't become top of the order as soon as you were brought in?
I don't know. With that, I have all four of you roll another perception check to see if you see, as you guys are probably making your way up close enough where you might catch a glance.
21!
21!
I'll see shit.
Jack.
These dice hate me. That's the third time I've rolled a 3 in a row. With different dice, by the way.
What you got, Kaylin?
It's the dice cup.
I got a 9.
9, Prugwin?
1 sec. Got 20,
Mine-
dirty
mine
20.
was an- Mine was an 8.
So, Kyrie and Prugwin notice about the same time that they see Adara kind of flying around, and she doesn't seem to notice anything. She's just flying around. Maybe there's some birds in her way as well, because there's so many birds up there.
Good.
But you also see Leonard bent over talking. You don't actually see JD because he's kind of hidden behind Leonard.
Oh, thank God, that stupid fucker. Gonna head over there.
Okay. You would hear Leonard saying, maybe it wasn't well thought through, but
And as he says that, JD goes, you need to get back to the temple and lay low. What if you get Kyra involved in this and they take her in too?
even know if they know of Kyra. Really,
Have you seen yourself? And he points kind of at his attire.
all right, come over here. And as he starts moving over to like an alleyway or something, trying to gesture JD over, that's when the three of you approach.
Anyone that can see JD's face sees that he's extremely pissed right now.
Oh, as they're moving towards the alley, Kyrie's gonna just come up next to Leonard and throw her arm around his shoulders. I hear we need to have a talk.
Well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, good,
think-
JD. You found him.
Don't think I haven't forgotten, buddy. Don't think I have forgotten.
Hey, what are you guys doing over there? As you kind of glance back over and you see a couple of guards. George, do you see what they're doing over there?
What is this mucking about?
JD's gonna walk towards him and go, this fellow just got shit on by like 20 birds. We're trying to help him change his attire out of sight so he doesn't look so bad.
I don't
that
think
is
that's illegal, is it?
is.
Is it illegal?
Changing clothes?
Getting
I
shit
mean,
on by the birds.
I mean, normally, yeah, but he got shit on by a bird, so I would say it's okay.
And Barney looks up, like, did you see that? There's a lot of birds around here, but that one is really.
Oh,
That is a huge bird right there.
Mhm.
Let's clear this up. Let's keep order and what's the word?
I got this point. Break it up, no loitering about on the streets of the city.
But you said it's okay if we go in the alley and address this matter, right?
Oh yeah, it's fine. Go in the alley, that's fine. But keep the main
alley's
streets
fine.
free.
The alley's
Yeah.
not a street.
All sorts of shit goes on in the alley. Like literal shit goes on in the alley. But on the main streets, we cannot bear that to happen.
No.
I'd watch out for the birds.
Yeah, I maybe we should get somewhere that has a ceiling on it or a nice cover.
Please get somewhere where you're covered. You wouldn't want to ruin your wonderful uniforms that you guys look absolutely fantastic in.
I know. Well, thank you, miss. I spent a lot of time on my uniform.
Ain't that a squirrel on her shoulder?
Oh yes. This is my friend Hamlet.
Are you some kind of new age pirate?
I'm sorry?
I heard pirates have parrots on their shoulders sometimes. Are you some kind of like land pirate? Like you don't have a boat, but you still want a hardy ha ha?
Oh no. I'm afraid I don't. I love animals, and honestly, he really caught my eye, and we became great friends since then. I mean, look at him. He's quite enormous, isn't he?
I mean, he is a cute little thing and stuff.
He is pudgy. I'd say pudgy. Yeah.
I mean, that's at least like one meal with a squirrel right there.
I was about to say I thought I noticed that over there looked like, but then the squirrel is just. I mean, I can't stop looking at this squirrel.
He's got hypnotic eyes.
As you guys are ushering Leonard over into the alley. Oh.
It is not a friendly arm around his shoulder. It's almost borderline pulling him into a chokehold. Not quite.
What's your arm with the bird poop?
Yeah, whatever. Wouldn't be the first time. Fucking seagulls, man. She used to be a pirate.
Fair.
Enough with the squirrel. Let's get back to our patrol.
All right. Remember, keep it on the side streets, not in the main thoroughfares.
Of course. Thank you very much for
Big
keeping
word
the
from
streets
George
safe.
Martin.
Oh no! Oh, I don't. I've been using a thesaurus and a dictionary.
Very educated.
I tried.
Did you learn those words in those books?
I did, but I had to go and go. What's this word? What's this word mean? Because I got the books. The problem is I don't know how to read.
Oh God.
Yeah. I was trying to think of another word for that thesaurus book that you were talking about, but I can't think of one.
I don't know. I'll have to look into thesaurus for the thesaurus.
Great, move along. And they kind of push past. Okay.
My head's starting to hurt now.
Oh. My nose is bleeding.
God damn it.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so we got to shuffle over to the alley. Hamlet in tow.
Hamlet in tow.
How did we already forget about Hamlet?
Oh, I didn't forget about him. I was just waiting.
JD
wouldn't
forgot
forget.
either. That's a hell of a sandwich.
Did these dang pigeons come back yet?
You can roll one more perception check.
Yes.
See if you see anything.
See if
And
I see the
then-
pigeons. Please,
and
God,
then-
let me see the
then-
pigeons.
And then you'll have your conversation with the pigeon.
Glop speed, friend. Glop speed.
It's a 14.
A 14. Yep.
Yeah.
So you still don't see them, but you land on the roof over there. And the pigeons start coming back in. Bread, bread,
Bread, man, bread, man, bread.
man, bread.
Did you find him?
Scorpion.
Yeah, bread.
Could you take me to him?
Man,
Yes, man. The man you found. Yes, the one.
man, bread.
Yes.
Okay.
Man bread. Oh boy. She's gonna try and follow the birds.
Okay, so they take off. And it's actually not too far. So it's just like right over like 2 buildings over. You were really close the entire time. And it's like, you guys are in the alley, and all of a sudden all these birds come just flying down
I'm gonna
on
land
top
in
of
the alley.
you. And then here comes Adara flying in behind them.
That explains the birds.
Feathers everywhere.
I see they hit their mark.
Very effective.
So you sent the birds.
Well, I mean, listen, gotta find somebody somehow, you know?
Bread,
You just hear shit tons of chirping.
bread, bread, bread.
They seem
Tavern.
very fond of you.
Meet me at the tavern. And she's kind of like pointing at the birds, like pointing towards the
The
tavern.
bird just cocks its head.
Right?
How long does Speak with Animals last?
I don't even know. Let's see. At this point, they like have no idea. Where is it?
I don't think the pigeons understand the concept of tavern.
Or time?
Animals. Right. 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. So for the next 10 minutes, you just hear bread, bread, bread,
Bread,
bread.
bread.
She'll just be like, oh, okay. Does anybody have bread?
I don't carry bread with.
Does
me.
anyone have bread? I don't know. I think I have like random rations or something.
I don't know if Hamlet likes bread or not. I haven't tried giving it bread yet.
It's fine. It's fine. They'll follow me back to the tavern. I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
Bread. Bread.
How much bread would I have being a cook?
I don't know. Do you have any bread on you,
How
girl?
often do you bake bread?
No, I'm talking about for cooking with, like to eat with the meal.
Well, bread doesn't hold up for too terribly long, right?
I mean, that all
Uh-oh.
depends.
3 days.
If you freeze bread, it holds forever.
Well, I guess if
You
you're
have a
keeping
bag
it
of
in your
I do have a bag of colding, sir. Thank you.
So
You got some
Yeah,
rock hard bread in there?
Hey, you just asked for bread. You didn't ask if it was edible.
That's fair. That's fair. I did only
all right,
ask for
just
bread.
roll a d20 and we'll say on 10 and up you have bread.
No adding anything.
No, just straight.
I got an 11.
11. Okay, so you have some bread, a couple loaves in your bag of
Hard,
holding.
hard as a rock. I pull
Hard
it
as a
out
rock.
and I hand it one of the loaves to her and I go, I have bread. And it's cold as shit.
She's gonna kind of like toss it a little bit, and then she's gonna be like, cold. Can I shocking grasp the bread?
Just to bake the bread.
Please do.
Oh, God.
Miss.
How much,
We
how
just
much damage
invented the
do you do to
D&D
the bread?
microwave.
Roll for the
Miss,
damage. How much damage do you do to the bread? You don't have to roll a hit.
Miss Adara.
I was gonna say. Nope, she's already shocking the shit out of this bread. You're talking to her as she's electrocuting this shit, but go for it. was
Word of
too-
advice, I wouldn't hold that bread for too long. Just chuck it at them as fast as you can. They're looking hungry.
7.
7.
7
The
points.
bread, loaves of bread explode.
Yes! Excellent.
Bread.
But it heated up enough where it thawed it just enough where they're just flying around eating the bread because you've already broken it apart for them.
Ah, All right, check 2 things off my list. Use birds as a search party and create bread confetti. Excellent.
It's a brain of bread. Hallelujah.
It's raining bread.
JD's just shaking his head because he's upset that now he's got to go buy more bread.
That's the bird's song. It translates to that.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I wouldn't suggest we stay here for too long. Their digestive tracts aren't very long, so we should probably move. You know, just
Take on
look
a shit
at Leonard.
again.
Leonard's
I
like,
mean,
it's
if
a
it
little
helps.
wonder that nobody saw me on the way up here and I'm not already arrested.
Well, it helps that well, we've met those guards before. They're not the most observant.
They're dumb. Just say
I was
what
trying-
it is. They're dumb.
Yes, I was trying to be a little bit
They-
tactful.
They are quite stupid.
Yes, but yes, we go back. Put your hood up. She's gonna say that to Leonard.
Does he have a hood?
I mean, he's in priest robes. I would.
He has, it's like robes underneath, but it's got like one of those like half cloaks that come around over your shoulders.
Mm.
So
I guess
he
he better
doesn't
throw
really have
that
a
half
hood.
cloak over his head, bird poop and all.
Bird poop and all.
Bird poop and all.
All right, so you guys are gonna take your chances and just walk him back like that then?
I mean, I could put him on the broom.
I mean, I say we kind of try to circle
Up to you.
around him so he's in the middle.
So we're gonna have him roll a stealth with advantage. Actually, let's do it a little differently. Let's have all of you around him roll a stealth check, as in
My
like
rolls are
a kind of a game of, see if you can make enough successes.
12.
Oh, that is
Well.
an 8. That is an 18.
An 18, okay, that was good.
16. That's better. We're getting better.
A
Good
9.
math.
Barbarian to be stealthy.
You got a 16, okay. And what did JD get?
Well, initially JD rolled a
Because
1.
we're at 2 losses and 2 wins. So
Initially JD rolled a 1.
okay,
I re-rolled because halfling.
yep,
I got a 14 plus 9.
okay.
Yeah.
So
God bless America.
3 to 2, 3 to 2. You guys successfully get Leonard back down to the temple and get him back in there.
I'm
I love
talky,
JD's
not
decks.
sneaky. Talky rogue, not sneaky.
That could have got real interesting because then he would have got caught with you guys. So I don't know what would have happened. So
Hey, I'm just glad I can re-roll that once. As
I'm
long
not
as they're
gonna
not
lie.
in a row.
If they started to attack, I was gonna sick them birds on them guards.
attack, and you just hear bread as they attack.
Be like, they
Uh,
have more bread, and then all hell breaks loose.
All right, so you guys are back at the temple. Just you guys and Leonard at the moment. What do you want to do?
We're back at the temple.
Yep.
One of us should go get Kyra and let her know that we're all here. I can go if the rest of you are fine here.
Sure.
Define fine.
Don't kill him yet. I at least want to watch.
Okay. All right, for you.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
go
you
back
make your
and
way
get
over
Kyra.
to the inn. As you get to the inn, Cade meets you at the door. As soon as you come in, he's like, she's, and kind of points over, and Kyra's just kind of slumped over, kind of just, Gary,
Oh
you're
shit.
back.
Cade, can I get
She's just
water?
had she had like half of a
I-
pint there. Like it was just
Yes. Water, coffee, bread, please.
Yeah. Bread? Okay.
Soaks it up.
Oh,
Trust
gotcha.
me.
All right, he goes. He goes back and grabs some stuff and brings it over to you.
All right. Kyra dear. How are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yes, we found JD and we found Leonard. So
Shit.
let's go ahead. Yes, we found him. Everything's fine. Let's go ahead. Before we head back to the temple here, I have a few things here. We're gonna start.
Okay.
Drink a bit of the water.
She goes.
Sips, not gulps.
So we're gonna
Sip
roll
the
a
water.
Constitution saving throw for her.
Jesus Christ.
She rolls a 19,
God.
natural 19. So yeah, she's like,
Okay.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Praise Jesus.
Sips of water, and try to eat some of the bread slowly. We'll start with that. Once the water's gone, I have coffee.
okay. So she makes her way through this process that you've developed here to cure her of her
I'm
drunkenness.
trying to get her sobered up.
Yeah. So there's she hasn't had that much to drink anyway, so the caffeine and the coffee really kicks in and kind of perks her up a little bit. She's still a little ditzy, but
I can handle ditzy. I can't handle puking on my shoes while we're walking down the street.
yeah.
All right. Feeling better?
Yeah. Sorry about
All right.
that.
It's fine. I understand. Probably not something you do very often. But yes, let's get back there. So we can talk some sense into that dumbass. Shall we?
Yeah, let's go. She gets up and kind of holds onto your arm.
Yep, I'm supporting her as much as I can.
Yeah. And you guys make your way back over to the temple. In the meantime, have you guys murdered Leonard?
No, I am a woman of my word.
No, we haven't murdered Leonard.
I'm standing in whatever doorway of whatever room he's in, and I have my gun drawn, waiting for his ass to move.
Okay. He's taking off his one of his robes. He's like in his just like pants and like a button-up shirt that he wears underneath the robe.
Hey, JD. How do you feel about a holy execution?
Depends on how far he's wanting to go with this.
What about how far?
I can hear you guys.
So can I. You can't murder the holy man.
I mean,
At least not yet.
that's why I said depends on how far he wants to go with this.
I was trying to help, guys.
Just asking a question, I want to get his opinion.
Do you remember the last time you tried to help? What happened? 2 other people went missing and, you kind of got them captured. And that's kind of why we're doing all of this, to which you also almost got captured and ruined everything.
All right, next time I will run it by the team.
Things I want to do to you.
All right, so Kyrie and Kyra make it back. As they come in, it looks like Kyra is a little worse for wear.
Kyra, my dear, how did Kate treat you?
Kaylin, honey,
Yes.
maybe next time don't buy drinks for someone this early in the morning.
She looked parched. I was only trying to help.
I'll take drinks this early in the morning.
What?
JD
She's a temple administrator. Do you think she drinks a lot?
Sacramentally, yes.
I could say
You
the same
don't
thing.
chug during the sacraments.
That depends on who you're talking to.
Well,
Listen, former Catholic kid here. You don't chug during the sacraments.
Resident drunk. That's all debatable.
But yet maybe next time, specify non-alcoholic to Cade, please.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, dear.
I'm sorry.
She said, Leonard. And she walks over and hugs him. I'm so glad you're not arrested.
Oh man.
He just stands there kind of awkwardly.
And this is an improvement on how I found her.
Good thing she didn't have none of mine.
He walks
Oh,
her over
good
and
God.
sets her down in a chair. All right, so you've rescued Leonard from turning himself in.
Stupid
It is-
motherfucker.
I would say, let's say it's probably about midday now. You've wasted part of the day here tracking down Leonard and retrieving Kyra from the bar.
Did
So-
JD acquire what he went after?
He did, yeah. He was actually coming out of the shop, so he has what he.
I was just
went after.
making sure
Yep.
that I acquired what I went
If you want to play that out or not, up to you.
So JD walks over to Prugwin and he opens up this pouch that he's carrying and he pulls out this trinket and he looks at Prugwin and goes, "This will upgrade what you already have for us to communicate with."
Ooh. He reaches and takes it. He says, "Oh, that looks nice."
He looks at him and says, "This will communicate across planes with each other."
Oh, okay. Thank you.
He turns and looks at Adara and says, "Since you keep trying to talk to me and apparently I can't talk back," he hands her one and says, "Now you can talk to me wherever we are."
To hold it out and kind of roll it around in her hand. Oh, thank you, JD. Do I owe you anything for it?
"That's fine. I took care of the situation."
Very well. Thank you. It'll be nice to be able to communicate better.
He turns and looks at Kyrie and hands her one of the same and says, "These all work the same as the other two." And then he turns and looks at Kaylin and goes, "You're brand new to the party. Yours is not as advanced. I don't know how well I can trust you, even though we are both on the same page with him."
Fair enough.
But he hands Kaylin one that will allow her to communicate with everyone within 300 feet of her location that has one. And then he pulls two more out and he puts one on his dog tags. And he looks at the other one and goes, "If we never get him fixed, this one goes to Huck." And he puts it back in the bag and closes it. But as he drops it in the bag, y'all hear more than just that. And he goes, "If we ever get the others back." And he attaches it back to his belt because he acquired 8 different trinkets, but the rest of the team's not there.
Do we get to decide what our trinket is?
Yes.
That's up to
or
Buck,
like
I
what
guess,
it turns
'cause
into. How does
he's
it
the
work? I just
one-
didn't know what it was, so that's why I was
He's
curious.
He's the one who had them crafted, so either he can decide or he can let you decide as the player what it looks like, not as the character, but as the player.
Doesn't matter to me. I was just curious because I was like, where do I put this? Like, what do I do with it?
Usually
we
there
can
are, in the
we can
past, they've
discuss
been
that offline.
earrings or some type of necklace, medallion type of thing.
Earring,
Something that you would wear.
bracer, or like a bracelet type thing, or a necklace is usually with the three choices.
In the first game that we played, the first campaign, they were very specifically made by the person who crafted them to be different, like shapes and stuff like that. But I don't know
okay, cool.
I don't know if Buck wanted to go into that detail or if they were just.
I mean, we
kinda
can
all
do
the
that.
same
We can do
looking.
that part offline.
Yeah,
I had kind of a thought, but like mine, where I have my dog tags, mine looks just like one of my dog tags. I just slid it onto the same chain that they already hang on.
All right, cool. I was just curious because I didn't know exactly what to do with it, so I was like, do I put it in my pocket? Do I put it? But yeah, that's cool.
I put it in the appropriate location.
Right, I put it in wherever I plan to put it.
This has nothing to do with what was being talked about before we started the session, so it's nothing like that. So.
Only Patreon would know.
Unless the party wants to decide that, that's not up to me. But...
So does everybody's okay? So is all of ours 300 feet, or is it
you, me, Ellen, Adam, and Russ all have ones that can literally speak from other planes of existence.
Just wanted to be clear on what I had. So
Kaylin's is within 300 feet because JD doesn't know her well enough to have upgraded it yet.
Okay.
So.
Got it.
And then, of course, Morwin's and whoever else, Stenosi's and such would have been 300. The only other planier one is reserved for Huck.
Okay. I'll make this item in D&D Beyond. The ones with the ability to go across planes will probably have to be attuned to. The other one is
Shit.
You don't have to attune to it. So
right, same.
God damn it!
It is such a really cool item, though. I would think that you would have to attune it because it allows you to communicate even with a select group of people across such great distances. So.
You're killing me, Diz.
Yeah.
You're
killing
fucking killing me.
All right, so
I mean, we can swap yours out for a 300.
All right, so at this point in the session, we're actually after midnight, so I think some people probably need to go to bed. But we'll probably pick up. So the actual ball should happen the evening of this third night. So you are in the start of the third day. You're probably at midday. So the ball should happen in the evening, probably starting around 6-7 o'clock or something in the evening. So you guys have that much time to figure out what you're doing, figure out if Huck's okay,
and Ellen has difficult decisions to make.
Hopefully Nathaniel gives you some information by then. So that's where we'll pick up next time, which will be on the 10th of December. So that's when we're going to have that. Next Saturday, we should have Buck's campaign. And if all streaming goes normal, which it hasn't lately, but if it does, me and Clam will have our retro show on Monday. And we should have a double after the roll next Thursday since we missed the last one. We'll talk about the last 2 episodes. So come check those out. I didn't say times. Retro is at 10:30. All the other shows are at 10:30, except for our D&Ds. They start. Anything else? Lady plays Smite. She can play some Smite tomorrow. So,
Yes.
okay.
At 11
11.
Eastern Standard Time, because I know ours is different.
You left the most important shit out, Des.
What did I? Well, I still got the bird.
Dragonfly.
Still got the bird brain.
Dragonflight launches Monday at 6 Eastern,
6 p.m. Eastern. Yep.
and I will have drops for a mount. And I go live at 5 Central, which will be 6 p.m. Eastern. Takes you 4 hours to get that mount. So show up, you may get it in one stream because I'm going at least 5 hours on Monday.
Yeah, he's been
on Monday, you
doing
can
some
watch
streams
everyone
prepping for it.
in a queue.
So, yeah, watch Buck sit in the queue.
Nope, not
For
on
5 hours.
Chromagus. This is retail, son. We're only medium pop server.
For now.
This ain't sulfurous or fucking globulus. It's max capacity and lockdown.
I don't remember the last release. I don't. Yeah, I'm probably trying to block it out of my mind actually. So
I just hope that they don't have a release like they had in Warlords. If they do, we'll get in. The very first step that matters will shut everything down, and they'll have to do a hotfix.
Yep. So, wow, if you're interested in that, go check out Buck. He is going to be playing. He's already been playing it a lot, so he has a lot of characters. I think he likes the game.
I have
Maybe.
35.
Gross.
Actually, I think he has a problem.
I don't have like my title said. I don't have an alt problem. You have an alt problem because I know how to play on my alts.
Well, that's all we got for now. Hopefully next time we get Russ back in here, so we can dive some deeper into Huck, and see where that goes.
The
he had some things he had to
long-awaited
take care of,
party.
so- Yeah. So
Well, before we go, though, remember, if you want to interact with the chat, if you want to interact with the show,
yes.
we do have stream loots.
Sleuts.
Exclamation salutes!
Exclamation salutes. It's already in chat. Just go there, click that link, get cards. Bend the will of the DM to your choosing.
Help us.
Or get lucky and get that dragon card
No.
and then decide what we face.
Help us.
No, we don't want the
That's
we don't
right.
want the dragon card, Buck.
We do because
Yes,
the
so I can make
chat
more
could
friends
vote
and
that
things.
it's good dragon and help
They
us.
will not vote that
They
it's a
will
good
not
dragon.
vote that it's a
They
good
will not
dragon.
vote that it's a
Hey,
good
if
You
I
can
play
get the
that
party
card, I'm voting
shinies.
for a good dragon.
I mean, yes, I would too, but like,
And also, if you're like, hey, this was a cool episode, I really like this, but I have no idea what the fuck you're doing because this is the only episode I've watched. You can do exclamation point NerdTube and get the link to our handy dandy YouTube where you can catch up on Not Actually Heroes Cataclysm, After the Roll, Three Old Men, and last but not least, Super Retro Game Show Extreme.
You could also catch up on the episodes for Not Actually Heroes Forgotten. It's there too.
They
There are
are
10
there. They
episodes
are
of that,
there.
right?
And
So-
that will be switching here soon. It will be probably early 2023. We'll be switching over from Cataclysm to Forgotten. And then everybody will be a completely different character, and all of our viewers will have strokes trying to keep up with everyone.
I can't wait.
And I make no promises. I don't kill half the party.
And I get to play a tiefling again. I'm sorry.
Meridius is not as bad as JD. So
No, but
Meridius
he's
will
not-
have a lot more bullshit to deal with.
He's not going to be babysitting like this either. Damn it.
He's got a couple Fae tossed into the mix.
and Adam will get to play in it because we were playing it on Sunday nights, but now we're just going to switch over to that campaign on Saturday night. So Adam will get to roll up a character for that and join
That's
us on
right.
that side of it.
That's right.
So I'll have
Cool.
one sane individual with me. Damn.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
wow.
not enough.
Yep.
I don't
Adam,
know who I'm gonna
Adam.
be yet.
Adam, we
Whoa,
got to
that-
talk about this. You got to join the insanity.
Don't do it, Adam.
Mordecai
Come
is not
on.
crazy.
Mordecai has been shot while he's sleeping 3 fucking times and almost fully died.
It doesn't mean that he's crazy. It just means he's not lucky.
And he can't drive a mech worth of shit.
Well, who in the Middle Ages can drive a mech, sir?
I mean, the guys that are trained to drive one.
Manic fairy artificer.
He does have a rusty dagger.
That is
Oh,
true. He
that's
does have
healthy.
a rusty dragon.
Needless to say, Chad, it's gonna be a shit show that you don't want to miss.
That is true.
Mhm.
That is true. That is true. And that's all I got, This.
All right,
Except
so
you may want to miss the first episode because we're all going to die anyways.
maybe
I remember where
Yeah.
we are.
you're in an interesting place. So we'll probably get into that probably around March or so of next year. Maybe, depending
The
on
way it's going, yes.
depending on how quickly these guys move through the content on this side, on this camp. So,
Not
but
quickly at all.
until next time, insert catchphrase here because I don't have one, and we'll see you then. Bye.
We'll have a catchphrase for next time.
I mean,
We'll
you
try.
promised that last time.
We'll try.
It's right.